Hi guys, today I want to talk about why do people blame God for not solving all the problems in the world. For example, a lot of people say, well, if God was real, he would solve world hunger. If God was real, he would heal everybody in the world. There wouldn't be any sickness. They say if God was real, well, things would be much better. Like we wouldn't be in a recession in the world. And people look for a lot of things that go wrong and blame God for not solving it. Now, first of all, one must understand that God is not there creating problems in the world. So God cannot take responsibility for other people's problems. God has offered his help in solving the problems. But that is if you believe. If you do not believe, well, you cannot blame God for not solving your problems or not helping you solve your problems. Now, problems like world peace, for example, war, these problems, yes, God has the power to solve it. But because of what God has done in terms of he have decided that I have given man free will and man will do as he pleases. So if man choose war, well, they will have to deal with the war. God will not go and prevent people's choices to stop a war. The people make their choice for the war. People have to learn to educate themselves about the things they're getting into before they get into it and find themselves in trouble and afterwards come back and blame God for not solving their problems. For example, hunger, starvation. These things was not created by God. It was created by the bad policies of the bad governments, the dictators, that the people never seem to stop voting them in. It is their choices that create the problems. Yes, God can help solve it, but God will not just interfere in the people's business and solve their problems. That is not how it's done. The government have to ask God for help and stop their bad policies, and God will help them. This is the way God do things. God don't interfere with people's free will. God has bound himself by a law saying that he has given man the right to have free will. And therefore, he's bound by his word and he's not going to go back on his word. And people have to learn to understand the spiritual laws that God have laid down there and have bound himself by it. Because what they're saying there, it will never become real when God say that he has bound himself by a law. God keeps his word forever. People make their choices create problems. They have to take responsibility for the problems that their choices create. And in taking that responsibility, if they need help from God, then they have to believe and ask the help. Whether you atheist, whether you Christian, whether you Muslim, you Hindu, it doesn't matter who you are. Once you believe and you ask for help, God will help you. I have believed, I have asked, and God has given me help. I know a lot of atheists will jump on my back and they will say, oh, that is dreams. Oh, you could have just gone and do this, or that is just a normal process of life where you could just go to people and get help. They have situations where you go to people and you cannot get the help from them. And after you pray to God and you ask Him to give you help, these very same people, their hearts are softened towards you, and sometimes you don't even go to them and they just come back and tell you, well, they can help you. That is things that happens all the time. And no matter what people will say, no matter what atheists believe, that does not take away the power of God working on the earth and in the lives of people on the earth. So people, when your choices create your problems, you have to take responsibility for your problems. And if you need help, then you ask God and you believe, and God will help you regardless of who you are or what religion. It does not matter. God does not help people by race or by religion or by who you are. God helps everybody that ask and believe. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.